Welcome back, people, to Castlevania Symphony of the Night. So, like I said before, we're gonna continue with the Marble Gallery before finishing up here. Because I still have to return to the Alchemy Lab anyway. In other words, yeah, there's an enemy here called the Butterfly. It's very, very, very annoying. As much as the imps and the gremlins, and the Orukabas, whatever you want to call them. Same principle applies. Watch out for those things. And over here we get to another health up. I think that there is a way to find hidden walls. Oh right, one of the fairies tells you about them if she's leveled up enough. Oh, I've never done that. I think, let me check. I think I did have Mystic Venom before, but I'm not entirely sure. Let me check it out. No, I didn't. Increases MP restoration rate. Oh, I already do have one. Well, if you didn't get them before, there you go. Now you can find them there. And yeah, the Crusader makes short work of these ladies. This is the same place where we went, where we got here. So, yeah, that's that. Interestingly, navigating through the castle isn't that bad. I say because in case I gotta deal with issues, you know? And yeah, you can tell that my HP is growing. I don't know what the cap is, all things considered. This is including levels, health upgrades, and everything. And again, this is the room with a Beelzebub. Interestingly, his chains don't reappear when you enter a second time. They're there only when you fight them. So now we're heading to the Marble Gallery. And that's it. If you're wondering why I'm so insistent in calling the Colosseum the arena, it's because I spend more time there in Area of Sorrow, so that name stuck more with me. Because when you play Area of Sorrow, you spend a lot of time in the arena. Mostly against your will because you're farming an enemy. Due to a stipulation of how to 100% that game. Or to get to the true ending anyway. Watch it here because, yeah, butterflies are moving around. Case in point. Here you find another turquoise. That's it. And this is the path to the gallery. I've checked pretty much everything there is to check in here, I think. Only this path I didn't, so yeah. And that's the Catapulpas, also incredibly annoying to people of the Crusader because they can petrify you. And yeah, this is the hint that this is the path to the clock room. Well, to one of the clock rooms anyway. I don't get why there are two like these. Whatever, let's just go. There's a point here if you so need it. Just for knowledge, there isn't any more items you need to get as far as that goes. or as in, the only mandatory items you need to get are the ones you get from the bosses. Nothing else. Everything else you find is not mandatory. It's there if you want it, and it's not needed for the true endings of the game, but the best ending, or the best true ending, happens when you get, well, most of the map completed. I think it needs 160% of the map or something to that effect. Like I said, I'm not as much of a connoisseur in this game as I am of a certain other Metroid style game that I love to death called Super Metroid, that I suggest you play. And if you don't like it, you're an idiot. No, not really. I can understand why people don't like it, wouldn't like it. It's a game that's it's a franchise that's already with a very niche audience, and it was lying dormant for years, almost as much as Mega Man was. So, yeah. But like I said, I don't blame you if you don't like Super Metroid or something. Like, I think, I mean, I love that game I love that game a lot. It's one of my favorites. Maybe even my favorite game, I think it's my favorite game of all of the ones I've played. And I've played a lot of stuff. And a lot of it is between my favorites. One of my favorite games of all time, for example, is... Which one was I talking about? Valkyria Chronicles, which I did try to do for the channel before, but I'm gonna do a redux now that I can record for more than an hour. Same for Mega Man. Mega Man 3 is also one of my favorite games of all time. Mega Man 7. Mega Man X. Now this game, Mega Man X4. Crash Bandicoot, I enjoy the hell out of that, even though it's very brutal. I don't think I'll play those for the channel because, in all honesty, I still don't know how to approach those games as far as their content goes because of how weird they are. This is a talisman. May absorb damage taken. It's not even worth trying, in all honesty. Okay. Here is a save point. I am gonna use it in a moment. This path... Yeah, it is a warp. This takes you to a warp room. I am not gonna use it because I'm already on the lower path, which leads to the underground. I'm only gonna activate it. Yeah, this is a horse warp. Yeah, in this one the warp doesn't teleport you here automatically like it did in the regular castle. Speaking of, something that bothers me about the inverted castle in particular, is that there is nothing in Castlevania Mythos that may suggest an opening. As in, there's no mention in Castlevania Mythos of this in particular actually happening. This is literally the one instance we're dealing with an inverted castle. The closest thing that it ever gets to is when you're taking on Castlevania itself an area of sorrow, but it's not that big. What did I get? What did I get? What did I get? What did I get? Nothing here, nothing here. Maybe I got a curious. It's Lesser Demon, very likely. I'm just checking everything. I'm very... Oh, this is what it is. Two-handed, it's really strong. Then it seems to be Dark Elemental. Is that another one? Yeah, it is! Wow. Just so you guys know, remember, I'm not wearing the Ring of Arcana. That covers the entire alchemy lab. Oh no, wait, there is one more one. A mana person, that's great. There is one room, yeah, it's here. The save room. That's interesting though, I got 2 obsidian swords in a row, but it took me like an hour to get the Crusagram. The obsidian sword is two-handed, as you see, it has massive attack. Yeah, the Crusagram doesn't have a special move, but it doesn't need to. It's busted enough on its own. So, what I'm gonna do now is basically finish building, completing the first area. Yeah, no, you're not firing beams from your crotch, dude. And from there I'll go to the waterway. Alright, the room also applies in the same principle. And that one, now you have to do it the other way around though. Oh, that's a dodo. That's literally the one instance of the game where you get. If you kill the flea man that's riding the monster, it becomes your ally through the room. That's interesting, in all honesty. Sort of like a familiar. You gotta go in like this and come out of it. Yep, that's how it works. Here you get some rings and a circlet. This circlet, I think it's really good. Resource absorbs lightning, straight up. It is useful for an optional super boss if you so choose to take him on, and if he's being way too hard. Because that boss is actually pretty freaking hard. That's the path I'm gonna take for the waterway, just to put it out there. As I was saying, interestingly, the heart of Castlevania itself never did this again. The closest thing we got is the Art of Sorrow game where the final boss is Castlevania itself, and even then, it wasn't that much of a deal. Because remember, Castlevania exists independently of Dracula, not because of him. There's a fire boomerang. If you want the knife, take it. I don't. So this castle could have been made as a copy. It's a copy, and it's easily tellable by the fact that that everything is exactly the same as you leave it in the true castle. Possibly because Dracula was never supposed to be summoned by Shaft. Remember what he mentioned? He didn't return because he willed it. In other words, he didn't return when it was his time. Humans called him. That work writer is not annoying, even without the Crusader. This area isn't that bad without it, unlike the one we were at just a few moments ago. This would be the first room. And here's another Holy Cross, which is blended with the Alucard. This time you don't get the cool upgrades you got there though. This time you get an anti-venom and a hammer. Hammer is an item that fairies use to heal you from petrification. You saw that it said familiar use only, that's why. Oh, it's called the Roberus, never mind. Like I said before, when the sword reaches level 50, you can actually wield him. But yeah, the sword is literally the only familiar you'll ever need once you get it. Let's get through here. And this is the underground waterway. The problem I have with this section is just how finicky it is with marking up here. You'll see in a moment. That upper section wouldn't... Oh, not in this room, but in another one, I think. There are sections that aren't marked if you're not in wolf form. It's that finicky. Those dark octopus are not annoying even without the Crusader. The cave trolls somewhat, but not really. This is the section I've been thinking about, I believe. Or it's the one next to it. Whatever, let's go. Rondo! I think it's this one. The reason I turned into a wolf is because this part is very finicky for marking. For some reason. So these just spawn almost immediately. Yeah, notice how it doesn't want to mark it. And there it is finally, damn. Like I said, the problem with this is just how finicky this marking is. I don't remember what the point of this is. There. Case in point. This is where you would find Karen actually. And he would be helping you traverse. But he's not here. Regardless, that marks the entire section. Now I'm going east. Once I'm done with the eastern path, I'll end it, and I guess I'll end once I'm done with the waterway overall. And leave the next episode to... Ooh, sweet. Elemental resistance, and now let's try this out. Because why the hell not? Let's try it out. What does that do? Does it give you every single buff there is? That would be awesome in all honesty. If you know what it does, just leave a comment please. And look at that, that gives... yeah, the ink damages you, by the way. The cave troll isn't as annoying as it would become in another... in Order of Ecclesia. So, there's that. Yeah, this path is fine. There's a... Now I have to return. Be very careful with that, I guess. Oh well. Of course you can get to the waterfall, just be careful because yeah, the lighting here is weird. A Symphony katana, another weapon that I don't think we need. Katanas unfortunately are two-handed and it hits incredibly hard, but nothing beats Crusagram. Also, you don't need to drop your shield to use Crusagram, another reason why it's busted as hell. There, that's the one. There's another garnet if you so choose to go back and sell it. If you want to go back to the castle to sell stuff and so on, I'd suggest you do it until you're done here. If you don't feel confident to go to the catacombs, you can also go for it. I don't think it's that important to do so right now, that is. Of course, but it's your game, you can play it however you want. Another pentagram, no idea what's going on. Rock Knight is not as obnoxious. He never has been. The soul is really good in Art of Sorrow though. Still not back. This is the pathway to the catacombs. I don't want to go there just yet. But it's there if you so choose to go now. Here is a potion. Restores 50 HP, that's it. And a full life up. That's all there is to it. Well, this place is actually not terrible. That covers this area of the room. In case you don't recognize the room I came out of right now, it's the same room where we... Have to use the skeleton egg to get to the other room. And the Rondo still hits pretty hard. But you can always use your shield to defend yourself from them. Remember to use everything you have to your advantage. Here we find a heart up. That's it. We can go back. I think that levels and everything you should get to the 500s, no problem. Again, I don't know what the caps to these are. I would guess 999 on each, but who knows? Who can say? And it's just someone who has bothered playing the game with death, or just decide to not. So I'm gonna end it right here just to not bother you so much. So thank you guys for watching. See you next time for Castlevania Symphony of the Night. This has been Ezra's son.